Here we go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Red Protoss player, the Red Protoss player himself, from Atlanta, Poland, representing Offside Esports. It is Krystianer. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is a Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chats. Coming into this, ByuN is a favorite player. For sure. ByuN, he is the heavy favorite in this tournament. But did you notice something in the bracket? Hold on. Un momento. I just want to bring it back a little bit here to our bracket. If you forgot, look at that. Look at that here in the quarterfinals. ByuN, he dropped a map. He already dropped a map in this tournament. To who? To Rebellion. Rebellion is a Korean Protoss player. So hey, if Rebellion can take a map, and if he can make a series out of it, I want to believe that Krystianer can as well. So I'm here for it. I'm ready for it. I'm hoping that we get a game 4 and a game 5. I'm hoping that we don't get a one-sided 3-0. But here we go. The pressure is on. As for now, we are going for an economic opener. You can see here single gas. So single gas opener ranks into expansion out of ByuN. Now ByuN is known for this. We talk about this all the time, but out of all the Koreans out there, out of all the Korean Terrans or just Terran players in general, ByuN is the most macro oriented. If you take into consideration players like Percival, Bunny, Maru, Gumiho, Ryung, Kyor, all those players are so much more prone to going double gas into a 2-base setup, into a 2-base all-in, or even just rack expand into 2-base all-in. Like, they're so much more willing and fond of going for these more committed 2-base plays. ByuN, I would say, is a player that is least likely to go for those builds and most likely to get a third CC and get a third base up and running and get into the mid game. That is what ByuN is known for, specifically in TvP. Specifically in TvP, he's known for his mid game, and it's not like he's a passive player. Don't get me wrong, he's not a passive player. He's one to go into the mid game, but once he gets there, that is when he is hyper aggressive with drop play. Like, that's where he excels, with drop play, with counter attacks, with harassment, Raven harass, Banshee harass, drop play, Widowmine drops, I should say, bio drops as well, pulling apart his opponent with mass APM, with mass speed, with his mechanics, of course, if he can get there. Meanwhile, Twilight Council opener at a Krystianer. Does go for his Twilight Council. Also, I should emphasize, not saying that ByuN never goes for 2-base all-ins, but he's less likely to do it than the other top Terran players. Less likely than the others. But Epsay will threaten the mineral line. So far, so good. Mining is denied. Gets 1 Marine so far. Gets 2 Marines. 2 Marines for an Adept, and it looks like the final Adept is going to be forced out. And behind this is going to be a Blink-based opener. Now, this is a breath of fresh air. We've been casting a lot of TvPs over the past couple of days, and we've been seeing a lot of charge-based openers out of both Jumi and Hearthstone. That was specific against Percival and against Homono as well. Those were just hyper-safe, hyper-defensive openers. This is something more standard. 3-gate Blink. 3-gate Blink, Robo on 2 bases into a bit of a later 3rd base. But again, this is just a very safe way to play, very safe way to open up, and does get you into your 3rd expansion. Here we go. As ByuN does move out, we do have Hellion towards the left-hand side, meanwhile drop on the right. And we do see Krystianer, he does fully wall off. He fully walls off the natural. Drop is coming in. And so far, Krystianer is keeping up. So far, so good. I say that the 3rd base is under fire. Aliens, they try to break in. And the base is taking a lot of damage. Krystianer, he's out of position. He cannot defend. Yeah, he cannot defend the expansion. Blink is done in 1 second. Blink's out to the low ground, but the base is getting incredibly low. And here we go, we drop into the main, we load up into the main base. Hellions are going for the mineral line. Ooh, oh god, probes are lighting up. And 4 Hellions, they kill 3 Hellions, they can one-shot probes. Then we got 7 probes going down, 9 probes even. Getting 10, getting 11 towards the end. Ay, ay, ay. And again, initially Krystianer, he was defending well until this moment. Until this one Hellion drop into the main. 11 workers go down. Krystianer, he does go for his counterattack. There's not much of him to defend, but there we go. He does come down from the main. He saw 3 SCVs. That is nice, but ByuN will hold. And ByuN comes out ahead. ByuN, he does have the better economy, higher worker counts. He's on 2 bases. Building on up. Here we go. He's building up on 2 bases here, working towards Sim, +1. Getting to his own bio army, bio setup. Is that Marine stuck? No! Feels SimCity, man. The one. Oh, wait. Oh, no. He squeezes out. Okay, never mind. It's good to go. Can squeeze out. And meanwhile, the tank is exposed. No bunker. Ooh, no bunker here on the low ground. Tank does go down. Nice pick up here from Krystianer. He has to get the hell out of here. At the same time, we do have a drop across the map. Yeah, boys are being pulled. Trying to force a bit of friendly fire. The Raven does get 2 probes. And oh good, as Krystianer here extends, please add 2 more stalkers. Yeah, suddenly not as worth it. It's 4 stalkers going down. So far, 13 probes in total. But you can see here that does this center Rax not have a rally? It does. Okay. Shifting things around. There you go, 3rd TC is all the way for ByuN. As we mentioned, ByuN, he's the one that's most likely to expand and get a 3rd TC out of any other player out there, out of any other Terran player out there, I should say. 3rd TC is on the way. He's not going for the all-in. As ByuN, he pulls the boys, saves the bunker. Sorry, saves the depot. Does siege up, does hold. And the pressure is still on Krystianer to get some more damage done. He has gotten some value. He's gotten a tank. He's gotten a couple of SCVs, but so far it's not good enough. Behind this, Krystianer is on 3-base saturation, now getting a 4th. Behind this, Storm is on the way. To Storm. Yeah, ByuN is breaking out, and I'll be honest, I don't think Krystianer can stop him. I think the best that Krystianer can do it for is to force him back home. As we have a Prism moving out, if he can force ByuN to turn around, that'll be ideal. You see Krystianer knocking down a tower. ByuN, he loads up, which means he doesn't really have much of him to work with. He turns around. Yeah, he turns around with the drop. Krystianer goes for the warp in into the mineral line. And he's also getting damage done. At the same time, ByuN, he doesn't move out. He stays in the center of the map. Also drop back over. But for the most part, this is dealt with. And this is dealt with. ByuN now moving further in. Storm is now done. True. Storm is complete. Krystianer does find one of the tanks. One tank goes down, going for the other. Yeah, second tank does barely fall. Nice big off. Saves the High Templar. Nice control there from Krystianer. Does save the Prism. More Stalkers warping in. Krystianer does take a bunch to the face. Storm's coming in. A decent Storm on the main army. The other Storm mainly turns away. A little bit lackluster. But Krystianer, because of the harassment, because of the engage in the center, he saves his 3rd. And he gets a 4th. His 4th base is now on the way. Oh. Storm once again turning. Holding on. nice concave here. Out of Krystianer. Sorting ByuN away. It does hurt him back. A couple of boys are being pulled. ByuN getting a little bit desperate. Do we have another storm though? No more storms. No, one more storm would be ideal here. No more storms. Still better concave for Krystianer, forcing his way in. And the Archon does get targeted down. Oh, brutal EMPs. Brutal EMPs on the Stalkers. Immortal taking a lot of damage. Do we have another Warping of Zealots? We need that Warping. Oh, no, the Immortal! The Immortal gets caught out. Krystianer trying to go for the CC. Trying to. Once again, we're still missing that Warping. Krystianer, he's banking up. He's banking resources. There we go. Zealots, they do arrive from across the map. There's the Warping of Zealots. Boys are being pulled, and Krystianer, he's close to breaking ByuN, but alas, I cannot quite break through. Gets 13 SCVs, does not get into the mineral line. ByuN, he's holding on. There is one High Templar. There's one Templar. In the prism. If he goes up. Storm mainly zones, doesn't quite connect, it grazes the army. Another EMP, and ByuN holds. Yeah, ByuN, he holds on. Again, that storm was not good enough. Storm wasn't enough. Water goes down. And ByuN, he holds, he survives. He does go for the Mass Mule Hammer. Again, if Krystianer could deny the third base, then maybe. There was so much there that he was just barely lacking. Whether it was just one extra storm or an extra Warping of Zealots as well. As this army is looking terrifying for ByuN. He's now up to 7 ghosts, 10 Marauders. That's an army. ByuN moves out. As he moves out, we have the Prism into the natural, Zealots towards the third, and Stalkers through the center. Warping does complete. Krystianer, oh no, he has to blink away. Does blink away. SCVs, a couple of them are going down, but this is going to be an expensive trade here for Krystianer. There's a recall back home. Prism goes down. More SCV kills in the main, not bad. Getting more SCVs. Back at home, we need those Warpins. Colossus production has begun. It's building up Colossus. It's getting a little bit, it's getting a little bit messy here between the players. ByuN moves out. How many Colossus? One. One Colossus, 2 High Templar. Oh my god, the EMPs are brutal. Let's catch 1 High Templar. There's 1 Templar left. Storm does get thrown down. There's 1 Storm remaining. There's that final Storm. Colossus does make it in. Oh, brutal EMP though. Is that 1 Colossus enough? We need those other Colossus. Does kite away. Does kite back, and Krystianer, he's holding. He's barely holding on. I say that, here come the reinforcements. ByuN still rallying. And Krystianer holds. Whew. Krystianer, he barely holds on. But again, the problem with this hold here is that Krystianer, he keeps losing these high-tech units. The Immortals, the High Templar, the Stalkers as well. These have been expensive defenses here for Krystianer. Very expensive. But he does preserve the Colossus at least. True. There goes second Robos on the way. ByuN rebuilding his SCVs. 4th base is spotted. Planetaries on the way. Planet's posturing. Threatening a dive. Now it gets force back. We have a 2nd starport on the way. That's going to be for double Viking production. That's going to be a lot of Vikings. So ByuN switching into Mass Viking. His 4th base is up running. This is a big moment for ByuN. Gets his 4th. Krystianer, his 5th is late. Yeah, it's a late 5th base for Krystianer. late 6th base as well. I mean, again, the armies have been trading. To the main. Warp in will finish. Oh, that's close. It barely does finish up, but shouldn't get much done. Yeah, it's also going to be cleaned up. Look at this trade here from Krystianer. You can see Krystianer is looking for a way in. Doesn't find it. If I find it, as ByuN is soon to be maxed. He's about to be maxed out. Nice storm. I mean, ByuN, he's setting. Oh my god, he's setting in the storms. ByuN, calm down. It does stand in the storms. Despite that, I mean, he still has a massive army. Yeah, we gotta calm down. Get out of the storms. Oh Jesus. As again, this choke point is brutal. Both of them. The bridges are so narrow. So difficult to break through. Does go both ways. Krystianer getting a 6th. 6th base getting up and running. He's still on 3 High Templar. Looking forward. Here he does look forward. Oh, EMP does connect. Storm mainly zoning. Zones away. Nice storm in the army. Summoning up ByuN. Ooh, goes up. Both armies still posturing. Krystianer, he does have a mineral bank at least to work with. And he has to make use of it. He has to start trading. Trading Zealots specifically. Or at least going for Zealot run-bys. That's Krystianer. He rotates. ByuN, he does find a way through. Oh. How do we engage? How do we respond? Storm popping up. We get a decent first storm. Brutal EMPs. EMPs covers everything. And Krystianer, his army is going to be plummeting here. We have storm flanking. Storms coming in. Zealots take him in from behind, but there's just not enough Protoss. Yeah, there's not enough Protoss. Krystianer, he will lose everything. I say that more Zealots take coming from behind. The army's overstimmed. The army's overstimmed. Chasing down ByuN. It's so close. As ByuN pulls back, but there's a couple of problems here. One, Krystianer, once again, he loses a very expensive army. He lost all the Colossus, he lost all the High Templar, lost most. He has 2 Stalkers left after that fight. He lost a lot of his gas units. And even though Krystianer has a 1,500 bank, it's minerals, not gas. So that was an expensive loss there for Krystianer. Meanwhile, ByuN, his army is very cheap. Like, the bio army is just cheap overall, so you can just replenish it almost immediately. ByuN can afford these trades, Krystianer less so. But he can warp in a lot of Zealots, true. As you can see, Krystianer, he has almost an non-existent gas bank. Still a lot of mineral store. How many gateways is he on? 8. We could do with extra gateways. At this stage of the game, when we're getting up to a 7th expansion, we should be on at least 15 gateways. So this is on Krystianer, but his production is lackluster. He needs more gateways. He could probably get away with another robo as well for triple robo production. But the lack of gateways is slowing Krystianer down. He is now working towards 10 gates, which again is still not enough. does find a base. One Nexus goes down. At the same time, Krystianer going right down mid, but there's an army waiting for him. Oh my god, through EMPs. EMPs do pop off. And ByuN defense. You can see here how just fortified some of these bases are. How difficult it is to push in. Even when you have the supply lead. And ByuN's not done. He's hunting down more bases. Uh-oh. Nice storm. Very nice storm. ByuN stands in it at the same time. EMP's popping off, catching out all the High Templar. Yeah, all the Templar caught out. Colossus does fall to the Vikings. And where are the Stalkers? Where the Stalkers are not here, the Vikings, they just reign supreme. Without any Stalkers, the Vikings, they just go to town. They kill every Colossus. And ByuN, he will now take the fight in a much more convincing fashion. Zealous, they're still trading relatively well for themselves. Storm comes in from behind, but you can see Krystianer just plummet in supply. Yeah, Vikings land. GG gets called, and ByuN, he will take game number 1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. A very intense back and forth. Krystianer, he had some good fights. He had some really good fights, some really good moments. Unfortunately, there were a couple of things that were failing him. One, the production, right? He did not have enough gateways to sustain or to be able to sustain that kind of at least mineral income. Likewise, his gases were very they were very much so lacking. He could barely afford anything. He was lacking those gases. They need extra to keep warping in to be able to afford those stalkers, to be able to have some anti-air for his army. And over time, Krystianer, he did fall apart there. Did fall apart. GG well played, though. They did go the distance. And again, Krystianer, he was able to survive the early to mid game. He was able to pull off these run-bys, these counterattacks, the drop play as well. GG. GG well played. ByuN does take a lead. And we'll see if Krystianer can bring it back. See if he can bring it back here as we're getting into our next game. But again, the mid game, very much so back and forth. Very back and forth. But here we go, spawning in the bottom hand corner of ley lines, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Protoss player representing Offside Esports from land of Poland. Down in the series, but hey, it's game 2, best of 5, plenty more games ahead of us. It is Krystianer. The tuna. Beautiful. As once again, we're expecting, yep, there we go, economic opener out of ByuN, going for a single gas geyser, going Rax expand. I would not be surprised if ByuN goes for a single gas every game in this series, going for a faster command center. Did it in game 1, doing it here in game number 2 as well. I think it's a little bit more impactful in game 1 just because we didn't even get to talk about it, but game 1 has a short rush distance by ground. We often see a lot of all-ins on Ultra Love because of that, and ByuN did not go for any kind of all-in, not at all. He was being aggressive with multiple aggression and drop play for sure, but not more than that. As ByuN does running the CC on low grounds. Krystianer setting up. From here, we expect Krystianer to go for a Twilight Council opener into Blink, into 3-gate Blink on 2 bases, into a 3rd. Meanwhile, we do see ByuN. I mean, this is a really good reaction. Remember, what did Krystianer go for in the last game? He went for early Adept Aggression and early Stalker as well, and he was able to delay the CC and cause a little bit of chaos. So ByuN responds with what? With early Marauder and Concussive Shell. Now, this opener here from ByuN is designed to punish a player being too aggressive. And you can see here, Adepts are moving out. Again, ByuN, his hope here is to catch this Adept. To catch this Adept and maybe even get another as well. As Krystianer is moving out. And then Marauders are building up Concussive Shell done in a couple of seconds. ByuN rushing to a 3rd CC. Oh my god. Going Rax expand into a 3rd CC before 2nd Rax and before Factory. Very greedy here from ByuN. insanely greedy. Now, the Shade does get eyes on the Marauders, so Krystianer, he will back the hell off. And now, the scary thing here is that it is not uncommon to see this opener, to see this build, and this lead into like a 2-1-1 or extra racks behind this. This is hyper greed out of ByuN. Now, we have seen ByuN do this before, but typically when he does this, it's going to be a CC in the main, but here it's on location, and if Krystianer sees what's going on, he can respond with 4-gate. He can respond with 4-gate Blink Stalker to punish and to shut this down, but Krystianer, he didn't scout. He doesn't know. He doesn't know what's happening. And the problem is that he turns back home, and I don't blame him, he turns back home because of the Marauders, right? Like, he knows that he cannot be active because if he gets caught by the Marauders, he will lose everything. So he's stuck at home, he's stuck on his side of the map, and he doesn't realize how much greed ByuN is getting away with now. Here we go, he does reinforce the army, and he needs to get in. Krystianer is poking forward. Bunker is on the way. Krystianer, he against 2 Marauders, I don't think he can quite break through. Yeah, he can't break through. Shade is denied. He sees Stim. He sees Stim being researched. Again, for all he knows, it could be a 2-1-1 variation or a 3-racks. And it is, but it's 3cc 3-racks. That's the difference here. It's an economic variation of 3-racks. Very greedy. And Krystianer backs off. Krystianer, he sees Stim, he backs off, he pulls away. He's going 3 gates blink into a 3rd. Standard opener. He went for a robo first, of course, so I would say safe opener here by Krystianer. And ByuN takes a lead. ByuN takes a lead, he gets ahead. If Krystianer was greedy himself, then I would think his position would be okay. If he was aggressive, then it'd be okay, but here he's safe. And a safe opener against a greedy opener, I have to favor ByuN. As Krystianer, again, he's being somewhat active, but there's nothing to let him know to actually check in that direction. To scout the 3rd. As you can chat, didn't ByuN do this in the EWC? Yes. He did do this at Esports World Cup against Zown. Zown did punish him, by the way, if you remember. Zown did punish ByuN doing this. If I remember correctly, I think Zown forced a cancel, if not mistaken. It was like maybe game 2 in the series. I can't quite recall. It was game 1 or game 2. And if you remember during the cast, I did say that typically ByuN goes for the CC in the main base, but to go for it on location is crazy. So I stand by those words. I stand by it. Of course, you can check out our YouTube channel. Of course, we did live stream all of EWC. Unfortunately, we weren't able to cast any of the B-stream matches just because we were busy covering the mainstream. So we did miss out on those B-stream matches, unfortunately. But overall, it was a great time. As Krystianer is going to be forced back. And this is where ByuN hits his final form. Nice drop into the main, does distract. But now that the store base is getting fully saturated, that's when this kicks in. It's yet to really do so. Like, the Raxes are still on the way, the add-ons are still on the way. But given time, ByuN, he will skyrocket ahead in that production or in that supply. Coming up with the surround. Yeah, there's that Stim. Comes in from behind, takes down more Stalkers. Krystianer trying to pull away. ByuN, he commits. Does commit across the map. Storm, Storm is going to be a big factor here. If Krystianer can buy a little bit more time, then Storm can help defend. But here comes ByuN. ByuN does stay forward. Storm is still not finished. No, the Head Templar. One more second, and there we go. Storm does finish up just in time. Oh my god. Just in time does complete. ByuN does take some massive storms to the face. Another massive storm. And Krystianer, he shuts this down. Whew. Again, clutch moves with the storms. Very clutch. Storm finish up just in time. With that, Krystianer, he holds, but ByuN still has a massive army. Again, the power of the third. As Krystianer's running a storm. He's running a storm. He's got one storm left. That was it. That is the final High Templar. And ByuN can chase. Can chase. Catching up the Zealots. Behind this, we do warp in one additional High Templar. We got one High Templar warping in. There's the NG overcharge. He's got a couple of storms. ByuN still has the economic lead, which is why he still has a larger army. Nice splits here from ByuN. This time avoids a storm. Gets a High Templar. Picks up a Templar. ByuN, he'll be the first to max out. Now, how do you come back from here? Now, there is going to be a chance. There are ways to recover if you're in the shoes of a Krystianer, specifically War Prism Harass. War Prism Harass into the bases, Zealot run by into a mineral line, of course, as well. Catching at the army with storms. Like, there are ways to try to outposition and to try to outcontrol. But it's not going to be easy here. Krystianer poking in between the bases. There are EMPs available for ByuN. We get some okay storms. Storms they do blanket the army. Now we're running out of storms. Prism goes down. At the same time, Zealots they do hit the third. Zealots they come in from behind. And they do get a couple of SCV kills. Bad. Marquez may not be pushing in. It is some damage to Krystianer. He needs more. He still needs more here. As Zealots they collapse on the reinforcements, but still they're being dealt with. ByuN holds. Yeah, he's holding on. Krystianer moving in once again. It does feel like Krystianer at this point is getting desperate. Yeah, he's just rallying. He's just rallying across the map, but he's running into an army. Ay, ay, ay. Krystianer bleeding out more Stalkers. Bleeding out a High Templar as well. Again, he can't afford to lose a Templar. Not like this. Not like this. With that, ByuN, he can overwhelm. The Colossus does arrive just in time. With the help of the Colossus, we can maybe make a stand, but there's just no support here. There's no support, there's no buffer. Stalker's going to be falling one after the other. Stims on in, takes down the Colossus. And then Krystianer, he has no backbone left to his army. He has purely a gateway composition, just a handful of Zealots, a handful of Stalkers, and not much else. See Leone in the chats. Why doesn't Proto supposed to have 1k in case of emergency warp-ins? If you missed out on the start of the game, that you might not be familiar, but ByuN had a very greedy opener, had a really greedy start, which is why ByuN has so much momentum. That's why ByuN has a greater economy. That's why he has a larger army. That's why he has map control. It all comes down to the opener. It all comes down to the greed of ByuN early on, which snowballs into this kind of game state. It's why the early game and like these kind of greedy builds are really important to shut down early on. If you don't, then things get out of hand real fast and real quick. So basically, Krystianer's been playing from the back foot. He's been playing from behind, trying to catch up. Unfortunately, he didn't scout the greed. If you recall, he didn't scout it, didn't recognize it, didn't punish it. And ByuN just snowballed out of control from there. There were some nice fights and some nice moments here from Krystianer, but it's still been an uphill battle. And ByuN is maxed. ByuN, he's maxed out. Don't get to the natural. Zealot run by. There's only a handful of zealots. Again, there's just not much supply to work with. Hello, Ghost. Just random Ghost running in. Krystianer's built up to 4 Colossus. Okay. So Viking out looking like only 3 Vikings. So the 4 Colossus, they can hold their own. They can try to at least. But here there's only 1 Colossus. Krystianer's holding, but that's still going to be 19 probe kills. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, between the main base and the natural, 19 workers go down. ByuN gets in. ByuN once again gets into the main. I mean, that's still a lot of Colossus and a lot of Storms. There's still a lot of potential with this army here from Krystianer. He's got a lot of Storms banked up. And Krystianer's pretty all in. Back at him is losing more workers, more of his economy. It's all or nothing with this one massive army from Krystianer. This is it. This is it. This is his moment. As he has to keep going. Kills the base. Nice. Has to keep going. Has to keep going. And break the natural. That's Krystianer. He has 10 High Templar. Okay. 10 Templar. Oh god. EMP goes off. Force him off in an Archon. More EMPs are connecting. From 10 down to 6. So 6 High Templar left. More EMP. Oh god, the EMPs are brutal. One good storm. Yeah, one good storm, but just the one. Vikings, they go to town. Colossus is going to be falling. They go down to 1. Down to 1 Colossus, soon to be down to 0. Final Colossus goes down. Now only Blink Stalkers left. Still a very scrappy fight here. And again, Krystianer, impressive that he was able to build up that army. This is the final fight here for Krystianer. He breaks through the SCVs. Can he get on top of the Ghost? Oh, no, he cannot. Yeah, he can't get on top of the Ghost. It's barely not going to be enough. Again, this was his last-ditch effort. Behind this, we do see ByuN getting the northern base. Zone economy still a little bit lackluster, but he has more CCs. Yeah, he has more CCs. He's floating over. He's landing. Okay, nice little run by. Denies mining. Krystianer, he has a fresh mining base. This might make the difference here. So Krystianer, he has 1 fresh mining base going, and ByuN, I mean, he's mining out here at his 3rd base. He's never mind. He just saturated his new 4th. 4th base getting up running at the same time though. Krystianer moving in. Okay. Does move in. Does hit the mineral line. ByuN out of position. He's racing on over from across the map. SCVs are going down. I'll show some storms. Wow, we get some okay storms. Zealots are going down. And brutal losses for Krystianer. More storms coming in. Nice split there from ByuN. A spreads well. Oof, brutal EMP. And GG. GG gets called. That's all that Krystianer had left. And ByuN takes a 2-0 lead in the series. GG. Whew. GG, well played. When it came to Krystianer's move out, he was basically all in. He had built up, if you remember, he had 10 High Templar. He had 4 Colossus. It was a pretty terrifying army, but the EMPs were insane. Even though there were 10 High Templar, I want to say there were only 3 storms. Like there were so few storms available because of the EMPs, because of the non-stop EMPs there from ByuN. Likewise, the Vikings, they did their job. The Vikings, they did well, sniping those Colossus one after the other. I want to say like 1 Colossus was able to get a lot of value, but outside of that, the other Colossus were quick to fall. And with that, GG well played. ByuN, he did survive, he did persevere. Again, a really strong start from ByuN, winding it back. Remember, ByuN, he opened up with a third CC after the first racks. Hyper greed out of ByuN, and he got away with it. That's why he had such a strong start. That's why he had so much map control. That's why Krystianer had such a hard mid game. In the end, he was able to make a game out of it. So shout out to Krystianer for being able to pull that off. But alas, now we're getting into game 3. We're getting into game 3, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Pylon, we have our South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion, leading the series 2-0, and 1 game away from claiming this series and becoming this week's Tuna Cup champion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Protoss player, the Polish Protoss, representing Offside Esports. It is Krystianer. We want to shout out to Ken Pisto. I did. It's the Ken Pisto. Thank you so much. Gab. Oh, as we're going for the proxy, as we're actually faking a proxy. Okay, but thank you so much. Do appreciate the kind words. Thanking us for the stream. Do appreciate it. Go. Oh, pistachio. Oh, there we go. Pistachio. Yeah, let's go. As we're going for kind of a fake proxy, because the Raxes are on ByuN's side of the map. That is true, but we're still going for a 2-Rax Reaper setup here. So 2-Rax Reaper out of ByuN. Krystianer, he pokes in, he does scout.
Additional pylons.
Does confirm that, hey, hold up, the Rax is missing. Does he scout the gases? Did scout the gases, did see only 1 gas geyser in the main. Is in position here to block the CC just in case. We can see though that we do have 2 Reapers in production. And we'll see what ByuN can get done. At the same time, we do see Krystianer scouting on the right hand side, checking for proxies. Going back in to check for the SC, to check for the CC. Let's go back in. As he does get, okay, does confirm the command center, so he knows it's not an all-in. He knows it's not too committed, and the Rax is already floating back. They're already floating back. The Reaper's just now pushing, and we'll see what he can find. Oh, Robo Opener, Robo Opener out of Krystianer. This is very defensive. A very defensive start here for Krystianer on 1 base. Okay, just realized. Instead of expanding, 2 more gateways. Okay, so Krystianer is going for a 1 base all-in. Let's go. 1 base all-in out of Krystianer. Meanwhile, ByuN, he is unaware. Despite opening up Reaper like this, he has to scout, he has to confirm. It's time for Krystianer to clown, Papi. Let's go. As Reaper pokes in, Reaper does scout the Robo. Now, seeing a Robo here isn't the... It doesn't confirm. Doesn't confirm it's an all-in. Seeing all the gateways would be confirmation, but he didn't see the gates. Didn't see the gateways yet, but I mean, he's aware of at least like a War Prism coming his way. He has a bunker on the high ground. Raxes have landed. Reapers, they scout the Prism.
Add-on complete.
Nexus on the way. Krystianer going for 3-gate Robo into a heavily delayed natural. Okay, Krystianer, he is expanding technically, but this is a late base. It's a late expansion. ByuN, his CC's already done. You know, Krystianer does warp in. Fakes forward. Does fake forward. Will bring down Depot. Likewise going for the 2nd depot as well. At least attempting to. And we'll focus it down. Oh, nice save. Saves the Stalkers, does pull back, does pull away. Krystianer does retreat. He does retreat. Oh no, he dies! Shuts down the prism. Yeah, shuts down the prism as well. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, I assumed that Krystianer, he would get away. He does not. It doesn't get away. Natural base is being taken. And so far, ByuN is secure. ByuN, he is secure here on 2 bases. And Krystianer, he's more committed. I mean, again, remember, Krystianer, his natural base is so late. It's so delayed. Late economy, late saturation. He needs more damage. Yeah, GG. GG gets called. He cannot break through. And again, he was so committed. Borderline all in. And with that, GG. GG. Well played, ByuN. He will shut down the aggression from Krystianer. And ByuN will take the series 3-0, becoming this week's Sparkling Tuna Cup champion. GG. Whew. GG. Well played. Oh. GG, well played. Congratulations here to ByuN, as it does claim the series does take the 3-0. Shout out to Krystianer, because if you maybe tune in a little bit later in the series, if you missed out on the first 2 games, the first 2 games were pretty intense. Even game 2, I'm so impressed by Krystianer being able to make a game out of it despite being so far behind, despite not punishing the 3rd CC, despite not being able to do much about the economy of ByuN. He still made a game out of it. Still he was able to hold his own, able to have that final big push. He was shut down, of course, but despite that, he still made it close, still made a series out of it. So GG, well played. I don't think the 3-0 really does justice to game 1 and game 2. Game 3 was more one-sided, true. Game 3 was more one-sided. Game 3 was more one note there after the crazy setup from both players in the first game, but 1 and 2 was a little more intense. GG. A little more intense, a little more back and forth. GG, well played. Congratulations. Oh. GG, well played, and congratulations here to ByuN, as it does claim the series. And again, a shout out to Krystianer for making it to the finals. Remember, he took down Creator. Krystianer, he 2-0'd Creator in the semis. To make it this far, to face off against ByuN. Face off against ByuN. And I'm just asking ByuN, what's the plan for today? And he said that he already went to the gym. He already gymmed today, and apparently he's going to be playing in the EU League later on tonight. So there you go. Wardy's going to be hosting the EU League later on in the evening. That is going to be over on Wardy's channel. Let's go. Let us go. Exchange replays why bunker. Are you referring to why there was a bunker? I'm pretty sure ByuN was responding to the reaction to his own build. As a reminder, ByuN, he went for a proxy 2x Reaper, but a fake proxy 2x, so I'm pretty sure he was just assuming that he was forcing a reaction out of his opponent. If you remember, he scouted the Robo, so he would most likely be assuming that Krystianer would commit a little bit harder to shut down whatever was coming his way. So yeah, just safety bunker on the high grounds. Even without said bunker, I'm pretty sure he would have been able to hold off against the aggression of Krystianer as well. It was, yeah, just an unfortunate setup there to be chased down by the Viking, to be chased down by ByuN to lose that prism. And again, it was like borderline. Like I was surprised that Krystianer expanded. It was borderline 1 base all in, but did try to expand behind it, even though he was hyper committed on 1 base. Like it was a shaky game. But with that, GG. With that, GG, well played. With that, we are going to be wrapping up, and we'll see what's up next. It's going to be a busy week, as always. It's going to be a busy week here on the Cranky Ducklings. As always, we do cast on a daily basis here, and bam, checking out our schedule. Tomorrow is going to be a more intense one. Now, typically, we do cast StarCraft twice a day, every single day. Usually it's twice a day. But now that we're in the off season of EWC, we do want to take it easy. We do want to take it slow here. So as you can see here, we only had one cast on Monday, which was yesterday, the WTV Monday. We only have one cast today, which is Sparkling Tuna Cup. Tomorrow we do have Pigstar Cup in the morning, and we have the OC King of the Hill in the evening. On Thursday we have the Pond Cast. Thursday evening, Friday morning we do have the Sunny Lake Cup as well. We have KSL on Saturday, we have SDO on Saturday, we have a K Cup and Sparkling Tuna Cup on Sunday. As you can see, Sparkling Tuna Cup is our weekly tournament. It's usually on Sundays, but this week it wasn't on Sunday because of the Fusion Esports League, because of FEL. So because of that, we had to reschedule to Tuesday. Usually it's Sundays though. As you can see here on the schedule, next week, or the next edition, is coming up this Sunday. So we have quite a busy schedule here, quite a busy bracket, or quite a busy lineup. When it comes to the off-season of EWC, that doesn't really impact us too much. The majority, if not every tournament that we cast on a regular basis is not contingent on the Esports World Cup. EWC does make things a little bit more intense because we have to schedule around it, but you know, OC events, Sparkling Tuna Cup, WTV Mondays, Pigstar Cup, KSL, SDO, StarCraft Evolution League, Uthermal CV2 circuits, RSL, like all these tournaments, they're all independent in their own way. So there's a lot to cast. so again, despite us being in the off season, we should be live every day. We should be live every single day at some point in the day, sometimes twice a day as well. So again, plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft. We cast more StarCraft than anyone else out there, and we have the content, we have the quantity, and we have a little bit of the quality as well. Let's go. Let us go. So again, we should be live tomorrow. That's going to be at 9 AM KST. That's going to be at 10 AM AEST. That'll be in around 11 hours. In around 11 hours time, we're going to be live here with the Pigstar Cup. The Pigstar Cup is just like this event, except it's a little bit more catered towards the NA region. So we get players like Estrella, we get players like Trigger at times, we get some of the Latin Americans like Cham, for example. So we do get a wider array of players. We get some European D-Gens, players like Max Pax, Clem, Skillus, Nicaract, Geralt. There's like a key set of players that are willing to play at 5 AM in the morning. So we get a couple of D-Gen Europeans staying up, but for the most part it's like for the Koreans and for the North Americans to compete in the Pigstar Cup. Likewise, OC King of the Hill is going to be a lot of fun. That is a best of one style tournament. King of the Hill best of one, I should say, where the winner stays on and the loser is eliminated. So that's going to be a spicy format later on tonight. And then we have the Pondcast on Thursday. That's going to be an intense Pondcast because we skipped last week. We had to because of EWC. The Pondcast is our weekly talk show, our weekly SE2 podcast, and there's so much to discuss and so much to go over, and we're going to have to make it a little bit shorter as well because of the tournaments right after that as well. So we'll do our best. We'll do our best to catch up on the 2 weeks of content, the 2 weeks of news, as typically this is a weekly show. So there's a lot to discuss, a lot to get into when it comes to the Pondcast. So yes, it's gonna be intense. I'll do my best. I'll do my best. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. A big shout out, congratulations to ByuN, of course, for becoming our champion. And if you want to tune in some more StarCraft, stick around because we're gonna be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. Again, later on tonight is gonna be the WTV European League. Let's double check. But the EU League is in 3 hours. In 3 hours' time, that is when the EU League is upon us, and I believe ByuN is going to be competing in that. Meanwhile, who's live? Who is live at the moment? Who can we raid? I don't see many people that I'm familiar with. But we'll find someone to raid. We'll find someone to send everyone over to. So give them some love. Give them some support. Otherwise, thanks for watching. If you want to support us, you can do so via socials, !socials in the chat. If you see something that you like here, and if you can't watch it live, YouTube is the place to be. We do upload it on YouTube on a daily basis, so there's plenty of content on YouTube. So again, if you want to watch EWC, if you missed out on Esports World Cup, we did cast it live here on the channel. Every single day of EWC we did cover, so you can tune into the VODs over on YouTube. We also casted all of the Fusion Esports League as well. So again, that's all on YouTube, so you can check it out. Otherwise, thanks for watching. You can also support us on Patreon if you wish. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time. All right, I should also mention, when it comes to Patreon specifically, that actually helps boost this tournament. Our Patreon is designed to fund our tournament. So currently, you can see under the graphic, I got you. Under the graphic here, you can see the current goal and how much we make on Patreon. We currently do earn 461 USD via Patreon out of the goal of 500, and 100% of that money goes towards the tournaments. It all goes towards tournaments like this one, tournaments like Sparkling Tuna Cup, Sea Duckling Open, and Master Swan Open as well. All 3 of our tournaments are funded via that Patreon, and if you want to help us grow those tournaments, you can do so via Patreon. The next goal after this, which is around like 550 USD a month, then we can finally start paying casters and paying admins as well. So then some of the earnings there, or some of the contributions to Patreon, can start going towards some of the staff for these events. But currently, it all goes towards the players. It all goes towards the players. All goes towards the prize pools. So you can support us there. You can support the scene and the tournament and the players there via Patreon. So you can do so if you wish. Otherwise, thanks for watching. And we'll see you guys in 11 hours time for the biggest Earth Cup, or we'll see you guys in 24 hours time for the OSC King of the Hill. See you then. See you next time. Ciao, papi, ciao. See you next time.